This part begins, and now Bailiang has brought the injured boy to another place. And Bailiang is saying, "You said you are so unprepared in this barren mountain." And that boy is saying, "Am I going to die? I was careless. If possible, could you please send a message to my father?" And Bailiang looks at that boy and says, "What are you thinking about?" Then Bailiang takes out a pill and tells about that pill. This pill has a detoxification effect and has a certain effect on wound recovery. "Master, that guy Wu Bailiang is here to stock up again. I spent a lot of experience getting this from the Xingxian sect. I don't even want to eat it. Let's just sell you 5,000 spiritual stones as a friend." After listening to Bailiang, the boy says, 5,000 spirit stones are just my daily pocket money. Thank you so much." And listening to that boy's words, Bailiang's eyes start shining. One day's pocket money is 5,000 spirit stones. And Bailiang says to that boy, Wu Bailiang, from now on we are the strongest brothers." And the boy tells himself, "Hello, senior brother Wu, I am Wang Fuxing." And Wang eats that pill, and by eating that pill he gets a different feeling, he finds it refreshing. "I feel like every part of my body is smooth instantly." And now all the poison gets removed from Wang's body. And Wang catches Bailiang, and says to him, "This pill works so well. Is senior brother Wu still there?" Bailiang asks Wang, "What do you think I am?" "Not yet, but if you need anything, come to me at any time. I'll just go to Xingxian sect to purchase the goods." And Wang says, "Then I have to thank senior brother Wu." And now both are moving forward, and Wang is saying, "I don't know and I don't know anyone else. Polygonum multiflorum does not." And Bailiang says, "Get down to business." After this, the scene shifts and we see Guawazi, who is looking at his partner, and saying, "Another waste. Looks like I have to take action myself." And Guawazi takes out a weapon from him and says, "I don't believe that my 6th level of chi refining plus my ancestral King Kong can't control him." After this, both Bailiang and Wang are going inside the forest, and Wang is saying, "Senior brother Wu, how come you haven't encountered anything after walking for a long time, and why does it feel so eerie here?" And Bailiang says, "Polygonum multiflorum prefers cool and humid places. The heavier the yin, the better. We just need to wait quietly." And after listening to Bailiang, Wang starts looking around. And Wang is a little scared, and Bailiang also understands this. Then something falls on Wang, and when Wang looks at his face in the water, he sees something. And when he looks up, Chui Han is there, and Chui Han is troubled by something, but Wang gets very scared after seeing Chui Han. He thinks Chui Han is a ghost. And Bailiang, seeing Wang scared, asks him, "What's wrong? What a surprise." Wang asks Bailiang to look up, and when Bailiang looks up, he is surprised. The girl seems familiar to him, and he says, "Why does he look like Chui Han?" And Bailiang takes out his knife, and very fast climbs that tree, and frees Chui Han from those vines. And he brings Chui Han down, and Wang is saying, "How is she? He couldn't be dead." And Bailiang says, "Right now he is unconscious." And those people are a little confused and are saying, "How could she be tied up here? There must be a monster in here." After this, Wang is saying, "Let's get out of here quickly. The monster must still be around. Why are you so timid?" And something comes behind Wang. And she is a monster. And that monster attacks Wang, and captures Wang. And Wang is saying to save Bailiang, "I don't want to die. Daddy, I want to go home." And Bailiang looks at that monster and says, "It turned out to be a level 5 monster. Its smell was mixed with the surrounding trees and I didn't notice it." And that monster is about to eat Wang. But Bailiang puts his knife forward and says, "This incident was so troublesome that I encountered 2 people who were holding me back." And Bailiang starts moving towards that monster, and throws his knife forward, so that Wang escapes from the monster's grip. And Bailiang catches Wang, and starts running fast. And the monster gets very angry because Bailiang has snatched away his prey. And Wang is saying with fear, "Didn't you say this is a safe zone? How could there be such a huge tree demon?" And Bailiang takes something out of himself and says, "No matter where you are, it's better to be careful. Taste my thunder fire beads." And Bailiang attacks with thunder fire bead. And that attack hits the monster directly, due to which blasts start happening on the monster, and Beilang says this will hold it off for a while. And Wang gets very surprised to see this and he says, "Brother is awesome. Why do you have so many treasures?" But Beilang says to Wang, "A total of 3 beads and 3,000 spirit stones are used, plus they protect you, so it's not too much to charge you for 20,000 spirit stones." And Wang says, "Do you have to calculate it so clearly?" And Beilang says while leaving, "So what do we do next?" "What to do? Run. Can you defeat level 5 monsters?" After this, Beilang is leaving carrying Chui-han on his back, and saying, "Another point is that Suihua didn't say that she couldn't steal prey captured by others. In other words, they tacitly allow us to kill each other. Be careful and you may lose your life if you are not careful." And after listening to Beilang, one becomes very surprised and says, "Is this a fairy sect or a demon sect?" And Beilang says, "Boy, you are still too young." As the 3 of them go ahead, someone comes in front of them, and it is Guawazi. Guawazi says, "Boy, I finally found you." But Beilang says, "Why is this guy so persistent?" Guawazi takes out his treasure and says, "Today I want to let you know how awesome I am no matter what." King Kong! Guawazi attacks Beilang with his treasure, and that treasure is moving very fast towards Beilang, and Guawazi is saying, "My magical weapon, King Kong, is famous for its extreme speed, cutting iron like clay. You have no room to fight back against a little guy like you," and that treasure has come very close to Beilang. As soon as Beilang sees the treasure, he catches it. And when Guawazi sees this, he is shocked, and he says, "He actually caught my King Kong." Beilang looking at that treasure says, "The quality of this magic weapon is at least medium grade. Selling 10,000 spiritual stones is no problem. Thank you for the meeting gift. Then I'll accept it." And when Guawazi hears this, he gets very angry and says, "What a fucking meeting gift. Give me back my ancestral magic weapon." Using his spiritual power, Guawazi starts calling the treasure towards himself. And he says, "My ancestral treasure. Give me back what you damned." Beilang has held that treasure very tightly, and Beilang is saying, "I want to take back the things that were given to me, but there is no way." Guawazi is getting very angry after listening to Beiliang's words. And he is saying, "Who said I would send it to you?" Just then, Beilang takes out the space bag, and fills the treasure in his space bag. Then he says, "Now let's see where you go." And seeing this action of Beilang, now Guawazi's mind has become very disturbed. And he is saying, "How dare you kid to tease me like this? Now I not only want your life, I will also prevent you from reincarnation forever." But when Guawazi looks ahead, Beilang and Wang have fled from that place. And seeing this, Guawazi gets even more angry. Now it seems that Guawazi is about to go mad. And he says, "Damn it! How dare you run away? You are going to be so angry," and Guawazi shouts very loudly, "Get out of here!" And now all 3 are going ahead, and Wang is saying, "I see that guy is so angry. He will definitely not let you go easily." Beilang says, "I don't have time to spend with him, let him play by himself." And Wang says, "Give her some water." And Beilang says, "You still have the bowl with you?" And Wang says smilingly, "Not only is there a bowl, let's go inside and take a rest. It always feels unsafe outside." Beilang is surprised to hear this, and says, "In the house?" "What house?" And now Wang has brought both of them near a house, and he is saying, "Before I left home, my dad gave me a storage bag with various supplies in it." Beilang is surprised to hear this, and says, "This is too exaggerated, really brings the house out." Beilang looking at that storage bag says, "There is also a storage bag of this grade that can sell for at least 100,000 spirit stones on the market." 100,000 spirit stones? And Wang says, "Is it expensive?" And Beilang says, "Not only is it expensive," and Beilang now takes Chui-han inside that house, and makes her lie down on the bed. And seeing Chui-han, both of them are blushing, and Beilang is saying, "She's awake. I have to say, if you look closely, she is quite beautiful." Just then, Chui-han moves her hand and hugs Beilang, saying, "Don't want to. Don't leave me." And when Chui-han hugs Beilang, Beiliang feels like heaven, and Beiliang says, take the initiative to throw yourself into your arms. Why didn't I know I was so charming? Don't worry, girl, why would I leave you alone? Just then Chu Yihan regains consciousness. And she is surprised to see Beiliang in front of her. And starts blushing. Then Beiliang tells Chu Yihan, don't worry. Girl, we are not bad people. And Wang also says, yes. Senior brother Wu just saved you from the tree demon. We are all good people. Then Chu Yihan sits on the bed, and Beiliang asks Chu Yihan, girl, how could you be caught by the tree demon? So Chu Yihan says, my senior sister and I did a mission together, and we originally caught a few Feng Wuxiang. But in order to get high scores, the senior sister suggested finding Polygonum multiflorum. When I was looking for Polygonum multiflorum, my senior sister knocked me unconscious and I woke up here. Just then, Chu Yihan notices something, and says, my phoenix dance fragrance. My storage bag is missing. And Beiliang says to Chu Yihan, it goes without saying that he must have been robbed. And Chu Yihan says, I didn't expect that my senior sister would be such a person. And Beiliang says, in other words, our current situation is all 0 points. And Chu Yihan says, wrong, you have a negative score. I caught a lingling grass and got 1 point plus. Beiliang says, forgot about this, I still have a negative score. Then Beiliang says to both of them, with the current abilities of the two of you, it will be a matter of time before you are eliminated. That's true, so if we want to stay, we must cooperate and do tasks together. And Wang says, when we do tasks together, isn't senior brother Wu afraid that he will hold us back? In fact, it doesn't matter whether I choose or not. The worst thing is that I can go home and inherit the family business. And Beiliang tells Wang, what a word. Do you want to be a useless waste? What is the difference between having no dreams and salted fish? I won't give up on you. One is my best friend, and the other may become my lifelong partner. Believe me. And Wang says, It seems like we have known each other for less than a day. Chu Yihan blushes and says, who is your partner? And Beiliang says, didn't you just tell me not to abandon you? This is not the point, do you want to do it with me? I'll take you flying. And now all three get ready to work together and say, I believe in Brother Wu, I don't want to be eliminated. Beiliang takes out a pill and says, I have Pingxin pills here that can temporarily hide your aura, a bunch of spiritual stones. You can take them. And now all three of them go out at night to complete their work. And while leaving, they are talking, Senior Brother Wu, why do you have all the props? You will use them up immediately. Do you have a ledger? I have to write down your expenses. Didn't you say we are close buddies? Why do you still need money? You don't understand what it means to say that brothers are settling accounts. And all three are watching from behind the bushes, and Wang is saying, Senior Brother Wu, what are we doing here? Where did that dryad go? And Beiliang says the dryad should still be nearby and the Polygonum multiflorum should show up around the time. And Wang says, but we can't defeat the tree demon. Beiliang smilingly says to Wang, others will definitely come here to catch Polygonum multiflorum, and they will definitely lure the tree demon away when they encounter it. When the time comes, we will have a fight between clans and the fishermen will profit. And after listening to Beiliang, Wang says Senior Brother Wu is powerful. Just then, someone comes to that place, and all three of them hide behind the bushes, and Chu Yihan says somebody is coming. Hide now. Yunling comes to that place, and seeing Yunling, Chu Yihan says, it's Senior Sister Yunling. My things were taken away by her. But Beiliang tells Chu Yihan, wrong. She is not Yunling. She is full of evil spirit. And he's still a demon of quite a high level. A lot of energy is coming out from inside Yunling, and Yunling looks ahead, and it seems that Yunling has seen these three, and Wang says, have we been discovered? But Beiliang says it's impossible, our aura has been completely hidden. Could it be that the panacea has expired? And Chu Yihan says if it doesn't work, fight with her. And after listening to Chu Yihan, Beiliang says spell? What to fight for? Judging from the demonic aura she revealed, it was at least level 6. And Wang is surprised to hear this. Just then, Yunling uses her power, she feels that someone is watching her silently. And seeing this, Wang gets surprised and says, "Oops. We've been discovered." But that power transcends these three, and Yunling catches another man, and that man is Guawazi. And Bailiang is surprised to see Guawazi. Guawazi is saying to Yunling, "Hello? We have no enemy. What are you doing?" And Yunling says, "Because it's fun. Sister, I caught another one." Just then, a monster bursts out of the ground. And this is the same monster which had earlier attacked Bailiang and Wang. And when Yunling sees the monster's burnt face, she asks the monster, "Sister, what's wrong with you?" "Your face." And the monster gets angry and says, "Damn humans, how dare you ruin my beautiful face?" And Yunling says, "Who dares to ruin my sister's appearance?" And that monster says, "A very ugly-looking man with pigtails. I must smash him to pieces." And Yunling says, "Sister, don't get angry, sister, I'll go find him right now. Besides, how this guy is going to deal with his sister is not half as good as one of us." Guawazi gets scared after hearing this, and says, "No. I'll give you spiritual stones. I'll give you whatever you want. Don't kill me." But Yunling says, "Who cares about those rotten rocks?" Then we see Bailiang, who gets angry after listening to the monster's words, and he says, "What does it mean to be an extremely ugly and smelly man? It's unbearable." And Wang is trying to calm down Bailiang. And that monster is saying, "Every year, many of our compatriots are captured by those who cultivate themselves to refine elixirs. Today I also want to let them know that we are not easy to mess with. Kill him. Just use his blood to pay homage to our fallen brothers and sisters." And now Yunling prepares one of her attacks, and launches that attack on Guawazi, but then, Guawazi, using his power, creates a barrier, so that he is saved from Yunling's attack. Yunling becomes happy and says, "Spiritual energy body protection, this guy's cultivation is pretty good. Then you can play for a while longer." But Guawazi says to Yunling, "Who wants to play with you? I haven't lived enough yet." Guawazi is running very fast, and both Bailiang and Wang are surprised to see him running. And when Guawazi sees both of them, he gets very angry, and he says, "That extremely ugly guy is hiding here. Just take your time and play. I slipped away first." And while Guawazi is running, vines start emerging from under the ground. And those vines become very big and stop Guawazi there. Then the monster says, "Run? None of you can run away today." And Bailiang says to his friends, "Now that it's been discovered, there's nothing to hide. We listen to Anchor's arrangements. Do you use this to deal with monsters? There is no other way, we just brought these tools." Bailiang takes out a lot of weapons from his storage bag and says, "I'll just lend it to you, and you'll have to pay it back when you're done using it." And Wang gets surprised to see so many weapons. Then Guawazi says, "My King Kong." Then the monster says, "They are all little minions in the chi refining stage. The other three are up to you. This boy is mine." And Yunling says, "Then I won't be polite." Just then, Bailiang attacks Yunling with something, and Bailiang says, "Take advantage of me." And the monster gets scared and says, "Watch out for his hidden weapon." And Yunling puts her hands forward to avoid Bailiang's attack. But when she looked carefully, Bailiang had attacked her with stones. Seeing this, Yunling becomes very angry and says, "How dare you tease me? I wanted to." And Yunling starts rubbing her teeth. Then a house falls on Yunling. Seeing this, Bailiang becomes very surprised and says, "This trick works. And this attacker is Wang, he has taken out that house from his storage bag." And Wang says, "Have a taste of my overwhelming power." Bailiang says to Wang, "This is the first time I've seen someone use a storage bag as a weapon." Just then, Yunling breaks into that house and she says, "What kind of spell is this? Now these immortal cultivators are really weirder than the last." And Wang says smilingly, "It's not over yet." And Wang throws various things on Yunling from his storage bag, seeing which Yunling gets surprised. But now Yunling is angry. And with the help of her power she cuts all those things. Chuihan gets surprised to see this, and Wang also gets surprised. And Yunling says, "How? Are you done performing?" Yunling moves forward very quickly to attack Wang. And she attacks Wang with her punch, due to which Wang vomits. And rolling away he goes far away. And seeing that attack, Baelyang and Chuihan become very surprised. Guawazi says, Yunling has a very fast attack. Yunling looks at Guawazi and says, now it is your turn. Guawazi starts calling his treasure, and Guawazi's treasure moves very fast to attack Yunling. But Yunling breaks Guawazi's treasure with her own hands. And seeing this, Guawazi screams. And Baelyang is heartbroken, because that spiritual treasure was Baelyang's 5,000 spiritual stones. Then she says, monster cool! I just like to see them struggling to death. Then Yunling says to them, if you have any other tricks, feel free to use them. I'll accompany you for fun. It's okay for you guys to have fun, Guawazi says, now the game is over. And Baelyang says, it seems that now I have only one option left. And Guawazi asks Baelyang, what do you mean? Then Baelyang takes a deep breath and whistles. And that voice travels very far. And seeing this, Yunling says, why do you want to call someone? And that monster says, rest assured. Now no one, they and I have stepped into the barrier. Can't be saved. And after waiting for some time, Yunling says, so these are your last words? Want to count on others to save you? That is impossible. And that monster says, the blood of immortal cultivators is extremely delicious. Let me taste it today. Then Yunling and the monster move forward to attack all of them. And Chuihan is saying, now it is over. But Baelyang is still smiling, then something is moving very fast towards them. And that thing attacks that monster directly, which no one can see. Everyone is surprised to see what just happened. And a dangerous attack happens on that monster, due to which it goes away and hits a tree. And we see a claw. Baelyang's dog has come to that place. And Yunling is a little surprised to see that dog, and she is saying, although he is just a local dog. And Baelyang tells, because I feed him elixir all year round, his cultivation level will definitely not be worse than yours. And now half of that monster's body has disappeared. And that monster becomes very angry. And she moves forward to attack that dog, but that dog is also very clever, it attacks that monster very fast. Due to which one hand of that monster disappears. And that dog has also caught the demon pill of that monster, and seeing this, the monster is very surprised, and the dog destroys the demon pill, due to which the monster starts disappearing. Seeing this, Yunling feels very bad, and she says, this dog has really defeated my sister in a short time. And now Yunling is very angry. And now she wants to kill Baelyang's dog, but that dog is stronger than Yunling, and that dog comes behind Yunling, and directly that dog goes behind Yunling and gives her a headbutt. Due to which Yunling falls very far. And Yunling cannot believe that a local dog can be so powerful, and Yunling becomes unconscious at the same place, and the dog is saying, super invincible all hard dog legs. And when Chuihan and Guawazi see this, they are very surprised. And with this the dog has defeated Yunling. And that dog is saying, how should you thank me? And Baelyang goes to his dog, and his dog is saying, thank me quickly. Reward me quickly. But Baelyang starts pointing his finger at the dog's head and says, who asked you to bite the demon pill into pieces? That's worth a lot of money. Still want a reward? There are no doors. And now both Baelyang and the dog start fighting. And Chuihan is also watching all this, but she is unable to say anything. Then something starts coming out of Yunling's mouth, which is a strange kind of creature. Then Guawazi notices that creature, and that creature goes directly inside Wang's mouth. And Wang's eyes open, and he starts running away from that place very fast. And whenever Baelyang sees this, he says, I will wipe it. My good brother! How dare you take advantage of my good brother? You stay and take care of Yunling. I'll save him. And Chuihan says to Baelyang, are you going alone? Wait a moment. It's not allowed there. That's the black area over there. Sister Tsehua said we can't go there. And Baelyang says, how could I refuse to save the good brother I finally got to know? No matter what, I have to save him. And Chuihan says, it seems that you have known each other for a short time. Right? Are the feelings so deep already? And after listening to Chuihan, Baelyang stops, turns back and says he still owes me money. And Chuihan understands one thing about Baelyang, the guy who wants money rather than his life. And Bailiang points his finger towards Gwawazi and says, "You follow me?" Gwawazi makes an excuse and says, "I am having a lot of pain in my leg," and smilingly tells Bailiang, "Sorry brother, it hurts. I'm afraid I can't be of much help. My legs hurt, want to keep the door open. Are you sending it away?" And seeing Gwawazi's bad acting, Bailiang tells his dog to go and bite Gwawazi. And on hearing this, the dog comes into rage mode, and runs directly behind Gwawazi to bite him. Gwawazi climbs a tree and says, "Brother, please spare me. I don't want to die. I have an old one and a young one. They still expect me to feed them." Then Bailiang says, "It's a waste of resources to still want to cultivate immortality with such courage. Big Black, let's go." And Bailiang says to his dog, "You did well just now." His dog says, "Don't just talk about these useless things, give me some actual rewards." And when Bailiang and his dog are moving forward, some sound starts coming from inside the dog. And hearing that, Bailiang says to his dog, "Can you please keep your voice down so as not to attract the monsters?" And Bailiang's dog barks and says, "Blame it on me. It's been so long since I've eaten. I'm going to starve to death. Hurry and find me something to eat." And then a monster comes behind both of them, and that monster says, "I have found food for myself. Today I also have a taste of what it means to be an immortal cultivator. I'm starving to death too." And that monster attacks. After some time, we see that Bailiang's dog's stomach is now full. And his dog is saying, "It's so cool. I haven't eaten so happily in a long time. It's a pity that I didn't bring any seasoning." At the same time, Bailiang is looking at the level 3 demon pill happily and saying, "Level 3 demon pill. Nice. This is really a treasure land to make a fortune." Just then, 2 more snake monsters arrive at that place, and the female monster says, "You have killed my son. Now I will kill both of you." And that snack monster is very, very big. And seeing him, Bailiang says nervously, "One wave comes after another. Dahei, how are you? Can you still eat it?" And when Bailiang looks back, his dog is already running away. And his dog runs away and says, "Let's go. What are you waiting for?" And now Bailiang also starts running very fast, but the monster is not going to give up chasing Bailiang so easily. And while running, Bailiang's dog reaches near a ditch, and with great difficulty stops himself from falling into that ditch. And then when the dog looks back, Bailiang comes running and collides with him, due to which both of them start falling into the ditch. And while falling into that ditch, Bailiang is saying, I wipe it. Why is there such a huge ditch?" And his dog is saying, "Don't you watch the road?" And now Bailiang and the dog fall into the water, and both of them are being pulled inside the water. But Bailiang feels a lot of spiritual energy inside that water. And he is saying, "Why is there so much spiritual energy in this water? Is this the reason why the back mountain has sufficient spiritual energy?" And as soon as Bailiang sees it in front, he gets surprised, because a lot of energy is coming out from inside that dog. Only then does that dog make a breakthrough. And he sits in meditation pose. Seeing this, Bailiang becomes very surprised and says, "I will wipe it. Dahei's cultivation level has actually broken through." And at the same time, the dog becomes very happy with his breakthrough. And he starts showing off his biceps. Then Bailiang starts thinking, "Do you think I can do this with this abundant spiritual energy?" And Bailiang opens his mouth and starts drinking that water. And Bailiang drinks so much water that his stomach swells. And that dog brings Bailiang to the shore and says, "Hello. Are you okay? Don't scare me." Then the dog feels something and says, "I can actually speak human language." Bailiang is crying and saying, "After drinking so much, my cultivation only increased by 0.1. Sure enough, it's still not of much use to me." Then the water is absorbed inside Bailiang's stomach. And Bailiang is surprised to see this. Then that treasure comes out from inside Bailiang, and it is a shovel, which stops above that water, and only then that shovel evolves. Bailiang gets surprised seeing this, and he says, "Shovel, finally I woke up." "And who woke me up?" And Bailiang hearing this says, "I knew I wouldn't make a mistake. This shovel actually has a weapon spirit. As far as I know, The Crane sect and Xingxian sect combined only have half of the magic weapons that produce weapon spirits. And Beiliang says to that spirit weapon, "Listen. From now on I am your master. Tell me what's the right way to use you. Is there a spell?" And spirit weapon asks Beiliang, "Owner? May I ask what your level of cultivation is?" So Beiliang smilingly tells the spirit weapon, "Snort. Chi refining is 1.51, right? It's almost 1.61? And after listening to Beiliang, he says to spirit weapon, "Chi refining level 1.61? This is the first time I heard that cultivation is accurate to 2 decimal places. My previous masters were all famous super strong men in the wilderness. How come I have fallen into the hands of a loser who can't reach the 2nd level of chi refining? It's such a loss of my identity as a peerless magic weapon." And that spirit weapon clearly refuses, and he does not want Beiliang to be his master. Then Beiliang drops his blood on the weapon, due to which the spirit weapon makes a contract with Beiliang. And Beiliang says smilingly, "Of course it's a blood contract, I've heard that's how it's done." And that spirit weapon starts washing Beiliang's blood with water and says, "I can never accept you as my master." And seeing all this, the dog says, "It seems to dislike you." But Beiliang says to that weapon, "There's no point in hating me. Come to me." And because of the blood contract made by Beiliang, that weapon directly comes into Beiliang's hands. And seeing this, Beiliang says, "It's useless no matter how much you wash it." But spirit weapon tells Beiliang, Boy, you can have my body, but you will never get my heart." Beiliang says to that spirit weapon, "In that vast room with many things, I turned a blind eye to those flashy and charming bitches, and I went through all the trouble to find you. Do you know why?" And spirit weapon says, "Why?" So Beiliang tells him, "Because you are as good as me, but low-key. If you follow me from now on, I will treat you sincerely. You are so awesome." Then the dog feels something, and he says smilingly, "Wait a moment. There's movement over there." And now that dog starts going inside the cave very fast. And Beiliang is also coming behind him. And now both reach a different place. When Beiliang sees it in front, he gets surprised. In front, there are lovely, small, cute monster girls, seeing whom I cannot say anything. And seeing them, Beiliang is saying, "It seems that they have transformed into human forms under the nourishment of the aura of the pool water." Just then, Wang arrives at that place, and Wang is possessed by that creature. And Wang is saying, "I didn't expect you to catch up here. Don't be afraid, sisters. I will protect you." Beiliang says smilingly, "Don't be afraid, sisters. I will protect you." And after listening to Beiliang, Wang says, "Stop pretending to be a nice guy here. You cultivators all have the same virtue. For your own cultivation, many of our brothers and sisters have been trained into we have finally cultivated into shape, and we will not let you do anything wrong here no matter what elixirs by you." And Beiliang says, "Do you think I look like a person who does all kinds of evil? I'm just here to catch Polygonum multiflorum. You guys do what you're supposed to do." And Wang says angrily, "Everything I just said was bullshit. You can't take away a single plant or tree from here today." But Beiliang tells him, "So there's nothing to talk about. Big Black." And upon hearing Beiliang's order, the dog now transforms into a fire wolf beast. And seeing this, one gets surprised and says spiritual energy is being released from inside it. And the dog says, "Who will come first?" And Beiliang is laughing and saying, "Are you sure you want to fight? Everything can be discussed. Either help me complete the mission or be eaten all by Dahei. Also, get my friend back." And after listening to Beiliang, one gets angry and says, "Are you talking about this?" And Beiliang says, "Am I not sincere enough?" The dog says, "Well enough." Then Wang says to Beiliang, "I can promise you. But you have to agree to my conditions." And when Beiliang asks about that condition, Wang tells Beiliang, "From now on, you can't step foot here again." And Beiliang does not have any problem with Wang's condition. But the dog is talking to Beiliang, "Are you sure you have the final say?" And Beiliang says softly to that dog, "Promise first, and then tell the truth. The road will be found." Hearing Beiliang's words, the dog says, "You are such a bitch." Wang comes behind both of them, and asks them, "What are you guys doing?" Then Wang starts going ahead and says, "I'll take you somewhere. I think you'll be interested." And now Beiliang becomes happy and says, "I knew there was a treasure here." After some time, Wang brought Beiliang to another place. And Beiliang gets very surprised after seeing that place. Then he smells a smell and says, "I smell it. This is definitely no ordinary baby." And Wang sounds like someone's voice, "Ula ula." This sound is very strange. But that voice starts resonating in those mountains. And Beiliang also finds this sound a little different. Just then a spider monster girl arrives at that place, seeing which Beiliang starts blushing and says, "What a big spider. Really, this spider monster is looking very beautiful." And that spider monster says to Wang, "They are human beings. What's happening here?" And Wang says to that spider girl, "Please sister, please help them get there." And Beiliang looks at the spider girl and smiles and says, "Sorry for the trouble, sister spider." And hearing this, the spider girl gets angry. And she says, "Am I your sister? So tell me what's going on here." So Wang tells that spider girl, "He promised us that he would never set foot here again. The premise is that we help him complete the task." And after listening to Wang's words, Spider Girl says, "Promise? Have you forgotten what they did to us?" But Wang says, "We have no choice. You also know that with our strength, we are no match for those cultivators outside." And Spider Girl says, "Then why do you believe him? Who is he?" And Beiliang tells about himself. What a difference what the girl said. "Hell yeah, I am also from Lingtian sect." And that spider girl asks, "What level of cultivation do you have, and what position do you hold in the Lingtian sect?" And Beiliang says with confidence, "Chi refining level 1.6. A prospective disciple of the Lingtian sect." Hearing Beiliang's words, the dog says, "Just stop mentioning your cultivation." And Spider Girl says, "Wait, what is a quasi-disciple?" And Beiliang says, "That is, if I pass the assessment, I can officially join the Lingtian sect. How about it? I still have a lot of room for development." And after hearing Beiliang's words, Spider Girl gets angry and says, "This is the first time I have seen such a shameless person. Why bother talking to him if you just kill him?" And Spider Girl releases a web from her mouth, and that web catches Beiliang. And Spider Girl starts pulling Beiliang towards herself, due to which Beiliang starts pulling towards Spider Girl very fast. And Spider Girl is now ready to punch Beiliang. And Spider Girl hits Beiliang with a punch, due to which Beiliang falls very far. But the Spider Girl again catches Beiliang and starts pulling him towards her. And many hits are made on Beiliang, due to which Beiliang's clothes get torn, and he falls far away. And Spider Girl says, "That's it. Do you think he can help us? He didn't even have the strength to fight back." Wang is looking at Beiliang's dog and saying, "What's the situation? Why is this dog unresponsive?" Beiliang's dog is scratching itself. And then Beiliang says, "Have you fought enough?" And Spider Girl is surprised to hear Beiliang's voice. And Beiliang is talking to Spider Girl, "If you don't hit me enough, I won't fight back if you hit me again. I said I was just here for a mission, picking up some treasures by the way." And seeing Beiliang safe and sound, Spider Girl cannot believe it and says, "Impossible. I have been practicing for so many years, but I can't even beat a loser at level 1.6 of Chi refining." And that dog is saying, "Wrong thing. Although his cultivation level is only more than one level, he has secretly taken so many elixirs that his physical strength has already exceeded his current level many times." And seeing Beiliang safe and sound, Spider Girl goes into depression. And she is saying, "It's over. Can we just let others slaughter us?" And Wang is saying after seeing Spider Girl, "This is the difference in strength." And Beiliang says, "It's not like you don't have a chance." And Spider Girl is surprised to hear this. And she says, "What are the chances?" So Beiliang asks that Spider Girl to cooperate with him. And Beiliang further explains, "When I become the strongest immortal cultivator, I will make all the rules in the future. How can you not be moved?" And after listening to Beiliang, Spider Girl says, "It's up to you. Become the strongest existence?" And Beiliang is saying smilingly, "Aren't you here too? If you agree, I am willing to be your insider into the enemy." And after listening to Beiliang, Wang says, "Should we try it once?" And Bailiang says, you have to trust. And there is silence at that place for a while. Then she says to Spider Girl, why are you still stunned? But Bailiang gets confused after hearing what Spider Girl said. And Spider Girl says to Bailiang, get on my back and I'll take you there. Spider Girl is feeling shy, but Bailiang has no such thing as shyness. He says okay. And Bailiang starts going towards that Spider Girl. And sits directly behind Spider Girl, and grabs her, and he says, is this posture okay? And Spider Girl says teasingly, don't come so close to me. Get your dirty hands off. And Bailiang says, then where can I help you? But Spider Girl says, help me wherever you like, but don't touch me. And that Spider Girl starts pouting. And now Spider Girl takes out a web from her mouth, and lands on a rock with her web. And now Bailiang and Spider Girl leave that place. And both of them start going upwards, and Bailiang is finding it very fast. Then they reach the entrance of a cave. And Spider Girl says to Bailiang, follow me soon. Don't run around or you'll be stuck here forever. Bailiang is very surprised to see that place and he says, is this a legend? When Bailiang looks ahead, he becomes even more surprised, and says, this is the first time I've seen such a thick guy. And that Spider Girl looks at Bailiang and says, then you have very little knowledge. But Bailiang is saying, it is said that the thorn pine cone it bears is a high-grade yellow fairy fruit. This much is worth at least hundreds of thousands of spirit stones. And Spider Girl says, it's good, but I advise you not to take advantage of it. If you don't have enough realm, you won't even have a chance to get close to it. Come with me. There are some rare treasures in it that we have collected, and as a condition you must. But Bailiang does not pay attention to Spider Girl's words and starts going in another direction. And seeing Bailiang going to the other side, Spider Girl starts shouting, and says, what are you doing? Do you want to die? And Bailiang's dog says to Spider Girl, it's useless, this guy is as obsessed with treasures as a wild dog is with shit. And after listening to that dog, the Spider Girl calms down and says, anyway, I remind you that it is none of my business if you die here. And after a while, Bailiang reaches a different place, and says, why is there someone's name engraved on it? And when he looks ahead, there are stairs in front of him. And names are written on those stairs. And Spider Girl tells about him. There have been countless cultivators who wanted to get close to this unique northern cold pine before, but the powerful spiritual pressure it exudes makes it impossible to easily get close to the name of the person on the steps, which is the limit of how close they can get, and someone like you might not even be able to reach the first level. But Bailiang starts climbing those stairs directly, and seeing this Spider Girl gets surprised, and says, 4 steps in 1 step. Impossible. Bailiang moves forward again, and seeing this Spider Girl becomes even more surprised, 2 steps and 10 steps. The cultivators I saw before were extremely difficult when they got close. And him. Within moments, Bailiang reaches the top, and he says, hello? Why are you still stunned? Come up quickly. Seeing Bailiang on top, Spider Girl screams. Then she says, I can't go there. But she screams and says, well, if you can, please help me pick some fruit. And Bailiang listens to him and says, easy to say. And Bailiang is looking at that tree and saying, it's so high, how can you go up there? Then Bailiang starts searching for something in his underwear. And he takes out the shovel and the storage bag, and he says, the decision is yours. Get all those fruits for me. And Bailiang says to the spirit weapon, I will wipe it. Why did you change back again? But spirit weapon tells Bailiang, I'm tired. You have to go by yourself. Don't disturb my rest. And listening to her words, Bailiang is thinking, all my sincere words about feelings are in vain. This guy is quite proud. I don't believe I can't control you. Just then Bailiang gets on his knees, and seeing this the spirit weapon says, what do you want to do? Then Bailiang bows down on his knees, in front of that spirit weapon, and starts speaking, Brother Tai. You will be my big brother from now on. From now on I am your little brother. As the eldest brother, can you bear to let me, the younger brother, be bullied by others? I just want to become stronger. What if one day I can't think about it anymore? Brother, you don't know how many years you will be sealed. And Spider Girl and the dog are watching all this from below. And Spider Girl is saying, is he performing some ritual? And that dog says, maybe. And the spirit weapon says, then let me help you once. First of all, let's say that if you fail to reach the foundation building stage within half a year, I would rather be sealed. And Bailiang says, no problem. Brother Tai. But the spirit weapon is thinking, how can I tell you that half a year has passed since the foundation building stage? My former master was not a top genius. Now I have to accept my fate when I encounter such a thing. I don't want to be sealed again. And Bailiang is repeatedly bowing before the spirit weapon and saying, thank you, Brother Tai. I will definitely step up my practice in the future. And spirit weapon says to Bailiang, you want fruit, right? Then I'll give it all to you. And now the spirit weapon returns to its original form. And seeing this, Bailiang becomes happy. And the spirit weapon starts cutting the tree very fast. And Bailiang is surprised to see this. And the spirit weapon breaks that tree into pieces. Seeing this, Bailiang and Spider Girl get very surprised, but the dog does not care about it, and he says, I was aware. And now pieces of the tree fall to the ground, and Spider Girl is screaming, this guy actually chopped off the northern Han pine. What have you done? And Bailiang's dog says, this guy is quite talented in some aspects. And Spider Girl asks the dog, in what aspects? So the dog says, a master of getting into trouble. And hearing this, Spider Girl becomes even more surprised and says, no. Can't stay here anymore. People from the Lingtian sect will definitely come. Let's go quickly. Bailiang is deeply shocked to see the destruction of that tree. And he is saying, what are you doing? Why did you destroy the tree? Spirit weapon says, can a mere small tree stop me? Whenever I take action, the world will be shocked and ghosts and gods will weep. And hearing this, Bailiang's face falls and he says, it's over. Why do I feel like this guy can cause more trouble than me? And then some movement starts happening at that place. Some cultivators start coming to that place. And Bailiang also notices this thing, and he starts running away from this place. And at this place 2 cultivators are coming flying on swords. And now both of them reach near that tree, and the cultivator is very surprised to see that tree cut down. And his other companion says, he actually cut the northern cold pine, which is as hard as steel, into this. And the muscular girl also comes to that place. And Wenja is speaking, who is so bold as to destroy my sect's rare treasures. The second cultivator says, Senior Brother Wenja, this matter is not trivial and must be reported to the elders. And Wenja says, I'm afraid this person hasn't gone far yet. Search for me. We must find this person no matter what. And the muscular girl is talking to Wenja, Brother Wenja, calm down. Can such a hard northern pine be destroyed like this? His cultivation level is at least not lower than the nascent soul stage, and Bailiang is watching all this while hiding behind a rock. And he also sees the muscular girl, and he is saying, it's over now. Sehua must tear me to pieces. And seeing Bailiang sad, Spider Girl says, what kind of god are you? How could this be something that can be accomplished at the first level of chi refining? And Bailiang says, I'm not some kind of fairy. Then Bailiang says happily, I am really at level 1.6 of chi refining. And his dog says, don't use common sense to explain what happened to him. And all those cultivators are talking about catching Bailiang, and a cultivator goes to find Bailiang. And then Bailiang comes to know that they are coming. And his dog says, what is going to happen to you after this? And they see Bailiang, the cultivator, and Bailiang is running, but suddenly 2 swords fall in front of Bailiang. And a man stands over that sword, and he says, you cannot run away from here. Then one of Wenja's juniors says, Brother Wenja. Here, there is a team of dogs and men. After this, all 3 are made to stand in front of Wenja. And Wenja is surprised to see that in front of him there is a dog, 1 male and 1 female. And Wenja is asking all 3 of them, tell me if you broke the northern Han pine. And near Bailiang's neck, he places his sword, and he says, tell me if you broke the northern Han pine. You are no longer welcome. When the muscular girl sees Bailiang, she is shocked. And Wenja asks the muscular girl, do you know this? So the muscular girl says, how can I tell you? And she gets angry at Bailiang, and hits him on the head, and says he is a disciple here to take part in the assessment, and I am his team leader. But the muscular girl is very angry at Baelyang, and is saying to Baelyang, "Why are you here? Are you crazy? Do you want to kill me?" And Baelyang says to the muscular girl, "Sister Tsuhua, listen to my explanation. I came in by mistake too." But a muscular girl says, "By accident? What did I say before we set off?" And one of Wenja's juniors says, "Senior brother Wenja, according to my analysis, there is definitely something wrong with this guy. Maybe it's a gap where hostile forces have stepped in." Baelyang tells him, "His brother can't talk nonsense. You are framed by stealing stolen goods. How do you prove that I am a gap?" The man says, "Frame? According to my analysis, this is a forbidden area for the sect. If someone hadn't told you the location, you wouldn't have come here." And Baelyang points towards the muscular girl and says, "Sister Tsuhua just said it. I'm just here to do the job. Sister Tsuhua can vouch for me." And a muscular girl says, "Testify? Do we know each other well? Sister Tsuhua, you can't play like this." But then Wenja starts using his powers, and the dog lifts Baelyang and Spider Girl into the air, and he says, "Tell me who ordered you. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave here alive." And Baelyang tells Wenja directly without any fear, "Do you believe me when I say I did it?" And Wenja stares at Baelyang and says, "Do you want to challenge my tolerance? Then I will play with you." Then the muscular girl comes behind Wenja, brother, and calms down. "If you kill him, the clue will be lost. Give it to me. I will definitely get to the bottom of it." And Wenja says to the muscular girl, "For you. How do I know if you have any secret dealings?" And after listening to Wenja, the muscular girl makes a crying face. And she says to Wenja, "I have a secret deal with him. Brother Wenja, don't you still know who I am?" And she confesses her love to Wenja, and she says, "I have always been yours." And hearing this, Wenja is shocked, and his juniors are also shocked. And those people are saying, "Senior brother Wenja has such a strong taste." And Wenja shouts to the muscular girl, "What nonsense are you talking about? When did you become mine?" And when the muscular girl listens to Wenja, her face falls, and she says, "I see. My heart has always belonged to brother Wenja." And the muscular girl going towards the front says, "If you dare to sow discord between me and brother Wenja, I will kill him." And now she summons her weapon. And she directly attacks Baelyang, seeing which Baelyang gets very scared. But then someone stops the muscular girl's weapon and it happens to be Wenja. And Wenja is talking to the muscular girl, "Calm down. Kill him and the clue will be lost. Take her away from me." And another man says, "Senior sister, let's go. Just leave it to your senior brother here." But the muscular girl is speaking, "Oh, I must kill him. How dare he sow discord between me and senior brother Wenja? You hateful third party." And Baelyang gets very scared after hearing such things from the muscular girl. "Third party? Your digression is a bit too exaggerated." But just then, someone throws a rope over the muscular girl. And is taking it with him. And the muscular girl is saying, "Let me go. What are you doing?" And now Wenja, with a sigh of relief, says, "I can't help but blame her. It's just that I'm too handsome. It's hard not to express your admiration." And after listening to Wenja, Baelyang says, "I haven't met a normal person since I came to Lingtian sect." And Baelyang's dog says, "Birds of a feather flock together." And Wenja says to Baelyang, "Since you don't say it, I will use my own method to make you say it." And Baelyang tells him, "What to say?" "I've said it all." Wenja says smilingly, "No one could last 5 minutes in my mental hell."